Staying off of trip. Just sitting here heading back to Goodyear, Arizona. Drop this motherfucking empty off, pick up another one, and run it again.
That 10-4, man. I ain't seen not a damn thing to bother you back that way. You're clear all the way back down to Albuquerque.
Well, I was born at a party in a barn with a guitar strapped across my arm. So I learned to play in a different style. Everybody knows that I'm hog wild. Well, I pick it high and I pick it low.
How's everybody doing? Did a live feed the other night. That's probably the first video I've done in a long time, so kind of was letting the cat out of the bag a little bit, not too much. I've got quite a few things going on that's kept me from making videos, I guess. I'm going to start trying to do at least one a week again. I keep saying that, and then things turn out to not do that. But anyway, everybody that's on here, I appreciate it. I got over 600 some odd subscribers now. I don't know where that came from. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I haven't done any tanking videos lately, or any scenery videos, or any PJ videos. And I kind of said something when I did the live feed the other day about the reason why that is because of the top 5 idiots who are quote unquote YouTube truckers. And we all know who the top 5 stinking bug. We all know who the top 5 morons are in the YouTube trucking. So pick any of the 5 names that you know about, and that's probably who I'm referring to. But with their stupidity, you know, I just feel like that, you know, with them, with their drama, and they're running their numbers and criticizing other people and getting new trucks, and which they used to hate, and now all of a sudden they're big, large car drivers, you know. With all that going on, you know, how can I compete? And you know, that's a frame of mind that they had no control over. I did that myself because I feel like nobody watches our content, which is stupid, because somehow or another I have amassed about 600 some odd subscribers, which is cool, very cool for me. I haven't been around as long as these other guys have, and by no means. And it's very cool to have that many people subscribe to you that actually, you know, somewhat give a crap about what you have to say about things, even though it's not important, even in the least. But like I said, we got major changes coming here, and in my life, and in the industry for me. I will be giving up the Yellow Jacket here, and I will have a brand new truck going on the assembly line, built specifically for me. It's kind of like an experiment. I don't want to give away too much about what the truck is, but it's an experiment for the company, catering towards what I do in the industry here, which is pulling a tank. Now, hopefully all this pans out. The gears are already set in motion. I hope that I'm not making an announcement and then something happens, and then this all falls through. But right now, to me, it's pretty cool. You know, I can kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit here, but it's specifically being set up, like I said, to my specifications, catering to what I do in the industry here. I'm very excited about it. The people putting the truck together are very excited. It's not a glider kit. It's brand new. It's going to have 565 X15 Cummins with the 2050 torque setup and drive line, rear ends, 336 rear ends, 24.5 low pros, 18 speed, obviously an 18 speed. And you know, that's the route I'm going. And I don't want to give away the truck just yet. We're going to wait on that. Some of you may know and some of you may not, but we're going to wait on that just a little bit longer. I also will be in an area. I'm fixing to move from where I live at now out west, fixing to move out west, and it's been a long time coming, but that's what's going to happen, and that will be happening very, very soon. We're talking about within the next couple of months here, so if not sooner. I'm going to be moving out west, and I think the channel, as far as what I try to do with scenery pics, I got the Harley. I want to ride the Harley in some places, and I'll have a lot more of a variety of where I go in the trucking industry here, if everything pans out. We'll have it. We'll find that out later on today. But my channel will have more of that, and I'm looking forward to it. And we're still going to do the tanking thing. People want to ask me questions about tanking. We're going to do that. Keep your questions coming in. Now, that one guy, if you do happen to see this, I can't remember your name, and I'm very sorry for this. Things have been a little hectic here, but you asked a question about my opinion about a new driver getting involved in the tanking industry. So let me address that real fast. Like I said, hopefully you see this. Okay. It depends on how long you're driving. I would think. Let me just tell you what I did. Let me not give you advice. Let me just tell you exactly what I did. Okay. Now, I hadn't been a driver. I hadn't had my CDL for quite a year yet, and you got to understand about where I came from in the industry here. Before I even got in the industry, I grew up around it. My dad's been an owner-operator ever since I was, I think, like 7 years old, and maybe a little bit younger. But around that time, he was an owner-operator. He also worked for another company there actually the guy I'm leased to right now, they've worked on and off for years. But Dad was there from the beginning with them, and like I said, I grew up around the industry. I had to work on it with my dad. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is because I come in the industry with an advantage, I would say, and one that I'm not bragging about, but I just had an advantage. I was riding pretty much off the coattails of my dad, with all his people that he knew, all the friends that he's made. They're just saying, I'm friends with those people. I get advice from them, direction from them, just like I do my dad. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that guidance and direction like I did. So, like I said, when I come in the industry, I had a bit of an advantage. And when it came to tanking, the same thing. I had an advantage there. I had somebody that was willing to take a chance on me getting in the industry so quickly. Whereas a lot of people, he wouldn't have batted an eye at him for it. But anyway, I got started in there. I hadn't been driving quite for a year. And I got started, and it wasn't too much of an adjustment for me. I already knew how to drive and everything and shift, but when you come in here, like I've done this before, you got to learn how to control your shifting right along with your RPMs and the surge of the tank. And some people have asked me to do more videos on the surge. I will set up my GoPro. I do have it sitting right here next to me. Always right there next to me. See it? And we're going to invest in a little bit more later on down the line, more cameras and stuff like that, once we get started with this new direction thing here I've got going on. All right, but we'll work on that. And but anyways, getting back to the original point here, if you want to get it started in tanking, I say get started as soon as you can. Like I did, like for me, it worked out well. And the reason why I feel like that is because you don't have time to develop a whole lot of habits that you would in other aspects of the industry. You just learn this and you go right along with it. And I think that's a good thing. I think I think I don't know of too many tanker outfits that start out like that. Not too many. I wish that I could tell you guys that. The only one I can think of offhand, and I don't recommend going to them, but I do know that they will train a tanker pretty much right off the bat, is Schneider. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. There's others out there. There are others out there. And one thing they're going to have to loosen up in this industry is we don't have a whole lot of drivers to choose from. The real drivers in this industry are almost non-existent nowadays. So they're going to have to break down and start training people to do this, whether they want to or not. It's there. You don't have a big pool of drivers to choose from anymore. You know, you got people in the industry that don't need to be here. We all have that in every aspect, from the military, government, all the way up to banking, anywhere. Any aspect you have, there's always people that slip through the cracks that don't need to be there. Trucking is very... it's a very good example of how people slip through the cracks. Okay? So... be different. Be completely different than that. Strive to be the best driver you can. A driver, not a steering wheel holder or somebody that occupies a seat. Be a driver. There's a big difference, and it takes a driver to pull a tank. It just does. I mean, you're going to be on top of your game all the time. I'm constantly making corrections in my steering because the load will push you one way or another. You can't take your eyes off the road more than a second. I mean, I've reached down to grab a bottle of water and been off the road before I know it with these things, you know, because they just push you. You got to constantly be up on your game. So if you're going to come in this new, remember that. I've never driven an automatic, never will, as far as I can tell you. I never will unless something physically happens to me where I have to drive an automatic. But I like control of that. I think it's a bad idea to have your truck automatically shift on you when you're pulling a tank, especially going over mountains and all that other stuff. And that's something I'll get into later on. But, sorry, my sinuses are kind of messed up this morning. Like I said, you know, that's how I got started. I just jumped right into it, had somebody willing to take a chance on me. I didn't have a whole lot of training. And that's where my connections and the people that I knew I could always call up and get some advice, you know. And it worked out for me. You got to be a good listener, and you got to have pride in this job, and you got to want to learn. And I'm not talking about just about the tanking aspect of it, but you need to learn your equipment, what these gauges mean, how all that works. Think about everything that goes along with this truck, you know, front to rear, from tractor to trailer. You know, learn your truck. Don't just sit there and just drive the damn thing and go home and call it good. Learn your truck, man. This is what you are. This is what your lifeline is. This is you. And look at it that way. When you go home, you adapt a whole new, different way of looking at things. When you're out here, this is you. This is what you got going on. This is how you put bread on the table. So why not become an expert in your craft here? At least that's the way I see it. But if you guys have any comments or whatever, hey, keep them coming. Keep asking me the questions. I'll try to answer them the best I can. I'll either do it on the video here or I'll answer them directly through the comments on the videos. Once again, I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to me and keeps subscribing to me. The channel I think is going to get a lot more interesting. I wouldn't say exciting, but it's going to get a lot more interesting. At least for me, it's going to be more interesting to do. So hopefully you guys in turn think it's interesting to watch. Like I said, be ready for that. This truck, I'm very excited about this new truck. Very excited. I'd never wanted to give up my cat here, but the X15 is the first engine that they came out with this DEF system crap that I was actually interested in. I was very impressed with the performance on it and some of the add-ons you could do to really up the horsepower and the torque. You know, we're after torque here. We're not really after the big, large horsepower, but we're after pulling power. At least that's what I'm after. I don't give a shit about running triple digits. I just want to be able to go up a hill and not slow down, because no matter what people tell you, you know, you pick up a lot of time by pulling a hill good and getting on up over it. But we'll talk about that more later on. But anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry it's been a while since I've done a video, but we're going to get back into it, and we're going to start trying to be more regular. At least I'm going to try, people. I'm going to try to do this once a week. Do a vlog, whatever you want to call it, or we'll actually show something different. But anyhow, you guys be safe out there. Keep the questions and participation coming. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm feeling like Psycho White. I can't get a grip, I'm about to slip, I'm about to fight. I took another shot of whiskey dips. Thunderbird. Oh my God, here comes Billy again with Travis Barker, Jay and Silent Bob. Hiya, Mom, Papa's got another chopper. Hi's a helicopter, sitting on the porch with the